Hi, we're here with Startup Show San Diego, and we're exploring the question, what is the intersection between fashion and education or edutainment? We're here with Brenda Markstein and Travis Fox. Welcome to La Jolla, and this is Travis.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for letting us be on the show.
And Brenda.
Hi, I'm Brenda. Thank you again.
So, first question, how do you find fashion?
I wear clothes every day. And I started actually, believe it or not, my mother was a fashion runway model many, many years ago, and she kind of got me into it at a very young age. And I did my first job when I was 9 years old as a fashion runway model, and here we are. And then I met this lovely lady a little over a decade ago who really is the fashion behind what we do in the film and television.
And where did you find fashion?
From a little girl on up, I was making my clothes at 10 years old from a very creative mother who got me started. And I went to the Fashion Institute in San Francisco, started doing costume designing in the theaters there, and it's been a love of mine my whole life.
And so now we're talking education. Where did you find education or passion for education?
Well, my background is in psychology and hypnotherapy, and it was teaching people how to, with all due respect, none of the project we're working on now, how do we undress from the personalities that we create? Where do they come from? And of course, that starts with fashion. They always say that clothes make the man or the woman, but really what drives behind that? What is the psychology behind that? So for us, we started combining fashion and film as a way to unite people and bring that message together, and that's how we end up with edutainment.
And how do you find the education piece?
Well, I think we were personally involved because of our children, and we have autistics in our family. And it really promoted us and pushed us into a realm of, okay, how do we connect with these children? And we found that a lot of them were connecting with puppets and fashion and what they wore and the feel, the texture, what was on their bodies. And we started saying, wow, this is really amazing that these children, how can we educate these kids? How can you use this in education?
Fantastic. So that's a great connection. You found that you have children, you want to connect with them, you realize other children could connect the same way, and every parent wants to connect to every kind of kid they have, and you want kids to connect to each other. So what did you decide to do about it?
We decided to, let's tell a story. We said, let's tell a story that everyone can connect with. And when we found that, when we went to the anti-bullying, we know children are being bullied in schools, and especially kids with special needs. And it's all over the map who's going to be bullied in a school. And we said, well, there was a clothing company that we got connected with that said, okay, let's tell a message. Let's bring education to the kids. Let's do a film and let's tell our story and the kids' story and how these clothes can help. They wear the T-shirts, and these are the people that stand up for other children in the school.
And Travis, how did you look at this, being a hypnotist and psychologist? If Brenda's seeing the idea of here's the film, here's the kids, here's emotional attachment, what did you bring to bear from your background?
Well, actually, I just get her coffee when she's on set. I don't do a whole lot. No, just kidding. I'm actually the producer and co-director of the film. So for me, it was also a personal experience, both being parents of autistics. I've experienced bullying as a parent, but moreover, I was the kid that moved every 3 or 4 years. So I was the kid that always got bullied for being the new kid and had to kind of work my way through the system. So what I brought to the table is, how are we going to tell a story that's relevant, that's timely, authentic, which I think most people really want in today's world, is the authenticity of it, and then from there put it boots on the ground. It's great to tell a film, and we love doing this medium, we love what we do, but how does that really make real change? Well, for us, it didn't make real change until we actually got that film and the program and the clothing that she's talking about in the schools where the kids could actually do something about it, and we could start making real change from the ground up.
And Brenda, now that you have a passion, you got a solution, what was the biggest challenge you had in rolling this out? The biggest roadblock, whether it was awareness or marketing or hiring or production, what was the absolute biggest challenge you have in bringing this to the kids?
Ironically, I'm finding everyone extremely receptive. And when you say a challenge, I'm looking for a challenge. It's a challenge. We get up every day and try to figure out what we're going to wear. But What I'm finding that people, when their eyes light up when you talk about bullying in children, somebody in their say, okay, in our background, somewhere going to school, we've experienced that. So I'm, I'm not going to say I have a challenge right now.
So Travis, tell us about what does it take? What exactly is this? What is your film? What does it do? How do you roll it out? Give us the mechanics, so to speak, the how-to manual.
Sure. Well, here's the 90-second snapshot. Obviously, you start with an idea, then you start with a great script. How do we tell a story that really is going to be relevant and do it in a short period of time? In today's world, let's agree, even now as we're broadcasting here, we're doing it on mobile devices. We're doing it in instantaneous gratification. You've got to communicate character development and immersion into the experience instantaneously. So that was the next step. Then from there was getting the people behind it that really understood it, both at a state park level, a school district level, sponsorship level, because this entire project for us is designed not to be a nonprofit. So we're not making any money out the film. We don't want to make any money out the film. We want the message to truly drive. So how do we get that into the schools and get the people behind it? That was the next step. We did that, and now rolling into production. And then from there, for me, the answer to your question, the biggest challenge is getting people like yourself and like this Fashion Film Festival here that will really tell the story as is. They won't spin it. They'll tell exactly what we're doing. Anti-bullying, this is why we're doing it, and how do we get out of the us and them model. That'll be the next step as we complete production.
So Brenda, how do you find out whether whether this works? You got the film out, kids rolling it. The idea is bullying goes down. How are you measuring that?
That's a good question. I think that you're going to see it in the children's eyes, and I think that parents have to have a huge impact, on the kids before they go into school. And if the children have to have a huge impact, come back to their mom and say, well, oh my gosh, this is what happened to me in school. I can't really say.
Yeah, I asked the tough questions. You could expect it. Sorry, we startups, we measure everything. That's, we do it, test it, measure it. Sure, go ahead.
Here's what it's going to be. We're going to have measurable results on two fashion and format. One, how do we deal with conflict resolution in the schools from the administrators themselves? Because part of the fashion component of this is there is a shirt and a design that goes with the kids, the young ladies, and young gentlemen in the Silverback Club. They are our conflict resolution. And moreover, does the program continue to thrive on its own after we leave and we've implemented the experience? After the euphorias wore off, after the euthanasia, okay, great, now we're back to our normal selves. If the pattern consistently moves forward, then you've got measurable results. From there, it's how do we spread it across the United States using power of media and the power of film to get it go forward.
And explain what you mean by Silverback Club.
Great question. Well, part of our sponsor is the company called Gorilla Tea, and Gorilla Tea was founded on sustainability in textiles and support and survival of the 900 mountain gorillas left on the planet. And the Silverback, which is the protector of a gorilla troop, became the moniker for our anti-bullying program. Become a silverback and emulate the characteristics of a silverback gorilla, and that's how the program implements itself.
Okay, so Brenda, we've got a program, you got a passion, you put it together, went through all the struggles, got it out, it's starting to be seen, you're starting to get the word out. You have some ideas of how you're going to measure, but now that I've asked you that question, you're going to be looking more forward to say, how do we measure success? So the real question then is, it's having some result already that's measured in what you hear from the kids, the teachers. So what is the best thing anyone, a teacher, a student, has told you that made you feel either the most proud, the happiest, or that you knew that you had done the right thing?
I think the best thing would be I saw a child help another child. I saw I saw results from one child including another child. It's to me, it's the teacher coming and say it's working. I see it right here. It's working. That's how I would measure it.
Very good. And your most favorite thing anyone's ever told you, student, that made you feel either the most proud, the most successful, or made you know that you were on the right path?
Actually, I can tell you it's a personal story. I saw it with our youngest son, who is autistic, and he uses what's called an anxiety puppet. So he has a puppet on his hand, not unlike a ventriloquist, and that's how he deals with it. And I saw the entire class come around him and understand that that's who he is. He's not less, he's just different. And when I saw them come to his birthday party, when I saw them say, hey, Corey, it's okay, when he started to maybe have an anxiety attack, and really work with him from a caring point of view, brought tears to my eyes, and I knew the program was working.
All right. Well, thank you, both of you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for what you do.